A sign of weakness? That seems to be what the administration is putting out to our enemies and allies alike. That's where we begin tonight. Joe Biden's summit meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin, wrapping up earlier today. The secretive closed-door meeting left U.S. reporters in the dark, while Biden seemed to lower the United States as an equal power to Russia. Joining me now to discuss in Arizona, his name is Congressman Andy Biggs. Congressman, great to see you again. You know, the meeting ended earlier than officials expected. I guess Mr. Biden needed a nap. I don't know. But what about this business of Biden putting Russia on an equal playing field with the United States by saying, quote, we're two great powers? What do you say to that?
Chris, first of all, it's great to be with you. But second of all, and the most important thing here is President Biden basically has demonstrated his weakness, his lack of appreciation for the U.S. standing in the world. We're dealing with the Russia. We're dealing with Russia that they basically said, when I say they, the Democrats and the left have basically been saying they were working in tandem with Donald Trump. So now all of a sudden they're going to laud them. They're going to give them the pipeline that they want so desperately. They're going to basically elevate Russia to the same level of the United States. And what that does, it diminishes the United States. And I think that gets to the whole point that President Trump was always making, that I make as well. This administration doesn't like America. And the previous administration loved America and was all America first. It is a night and day dichotomy.
You know, as a result of what these individuals in power in Washington, they control Congress, they control the White House. As a result of what they're doing, world leaders are openly mocking us. Vladimir Putin criticizing the United States, and he's criticizing the United States, but he's really criticizing socialist Democrats, because socialist Democrats in cities all over this country allowed BLM and Antifa to destroy our cities. Listen.
After a certain African-American individual was killed and an entire movement, the Black Lives Matter movement, appeared. I'm not going to go into details, I'll spare you them. But we've seen pogroms, we've seen, looting and violations and riots. We sympathize with the Americans, but we do not want for the same thing to happen on the Russian soil, and we'll do anything possible to prevent this.
Congressman, we have a former KGB agent criticizing our country because socialist Democrats want to enable criminals to savage and ravage through our cities for some sort of political benefit. The world is laughing at us. We look weak, courtesy of these socialists. Am I wrong?
You're 100% right. When I first saw that clip, I couldn't believe it because he kind of gets it right, doesn't he? He's saying, well, you know, that BLM movement, really what it is, that's the insurrection movement, right? And he says we wouldn't want that here in Russia. And what it does is it basically holds us up for ridicule throughout the world. And there's no excuse for it except for the Department of Justice is not going after these guys. The FBI is not going after these folks for conspiracy, but they will if you were in the Capitol on January 6th. He has it right. Putin has it right here, unfortunately, and that is we have weakened ourselves because the left is in control and doesn't value the rule of law. So when they do things like let's defund the police or take away their qualified immunity and let's weaken the police officers everywhere, guess what? We're going to have unrest in our country. And when you have the unrest in the country, we become weak when our guys are over there saying, hey, you need to clean up your act. Well, we can't even clean up our own act. And that is the point I think Putin was making, and it was the correct point.
Yeah, one of your colleagues actually got Christopher Wray to admit that not one person has been charged. Out of 400-plus arrests, not one person has been charged with insurrection, yet the biased press walks around saying, insurrection, insurrection, about January 6th. Back here at home, Congressman, Biden's border crises, they are only getting worse by the day. The administration just says, well, if we ignore it, it'll go away. Donald Trump, the former president, and Texas Governor Greg Abbott, they are set to visit the border on June 30th. You know, it says a lot to me that the former president cares more about the harm being done to our citizens down there along the border than the current occupier of the Oval Office. What do you say?
I say that is a real problem, and you nailed it again. Here's the deal. President Trump actually brought the border, his solution to the border. We had operational control. This administration, however, is basically created a problem by emasculating all the policies that were working so well under the Trump administration. You just need to go down there and see. Of course, Kamala Harris isn't going to go down there. Why? It's because the left-wing media in this country, the complex press, they are not going to hold her accountable. And so they don't want to be down there. They don't want to look down there. And the bottom line is, they believe if they can just stay away, keep Kamala Harris away, then you're going to keep the left-stream media out of there. And if you keep the left-stream media out of there, then they're not going to be held accountable for the horrific human catastrophe that is happening on our border in the United States. I cannot begin to tell you how bad it is right now, Chris. It is worse and worse. And I believe this is just exactly what the Democrats want.
Yeah, I hear that people that think it's bad, it's even worse when you see it up close. Now, last thing, Congressman, another socialist-imposed crisis we're all having to endure, and we already touched on this, is this spike in violent crime all over the United States, courtesy of liberals. Today, you called on leftist Sheila Jackson Lee to hold a hearing over Democrats' push to defund the police. Congressman, the Chris Salcedo radio show is on in Houston. I can assure you that Sheila Jackson Lee couldn't care less about violent crime harming her constituents. Is there any leverage, other leverage, that you can use to force her to pay attention to this?
Well, we're going to have to try some of our procedural rules, which we're at a distinct disadvantage of, to try to lever a minority-controlled hearing. She won't give. We have to get their permission. She's not going to give it to us. So we're going to have to hold our hearings off-site. But you know what? The American people in these cities where they have defund police, and they see the crime going up. It's an explosion of crime. We should be addressing that. But you know what they do? Sheila Jackson Lee's going to bring us back, and we're going to have another hearing on domestic terrorism and white supremacy and how America's a flawed, racist United States. And the reality is that is untrue. And so we've got to focus her attention on the defund police movement, which is just emasculating these big cities that are controlled by Democrats.
Yep. Congressman, you got a lot of friends here in the great state of Texas. I would suggest you go to Sheila Jackson Lee's district with Congressman Brady and with a lot of other Republican congressmen in Texas and hold that hearing right in her district, because I can tell you, Congressman, it is rife with the crime that she's ignoring. Congressman Andy Biggs, sir, we appreciate the time as always.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.